I don't think you're ready for what I'm about to present in this video. I really don't think you're ready for what I'm about to present in this video. And it all starts in the most unlikely of places. A place they want us to think is nothing but a third world wasteland. But in reality, it's a place fit for a king. Well, maybe not a king, but definitely an angel. 200, as a matter of fact. 200 fall. Propaganda like Borat to keep us from knowing who actually lives here and what this place actually is, I figured it out. I figured out that the top of their pyramid just happens to have a secret meeting chamber with exactly 200 perfectly aligned seats. 200 perfectly aligned seats that just perfectly matches the amount of fallen angels talked about in the Book of Enoch. 200 that just almost perfectly matches the amount of impact craters that, I don't know, could have been caused from heavenly bodies crashing down to Earth. Heavenly bodies whose leader just happens to also be called Lucifer or the Light Bearer. The Light Bearer whose torch is often celebrated across all of the large cities of the world, and whose torch who is oddly placed next to a giant Easter egg. An Easter egg that might actually reveal why eggs are associated with Ishtar, because Easter was originally the celebration of Ishtar, the Assyrian and Babylonian goddess of fertility and sex. And maybe this city is also hiding the free energy that they're using, because I've seen these exact buildings associated with the old dirigibles that used to charge from them. But we haven't even talked about the most interesting thing that I found in this city called Astana, which just happens to be an anagram for the word Satan. And it's just down the road from this pyramid. Or should I say, right down the river from this pyramid. And I'm going to take this time and say, all of this is pure speculation. Obviously, there could be other stories here, but too many of them line up to me. Way too many of them. Especially when you see what I found here. And it's what I started this video with. You look at this, and you tell me that doesn't look like some sort of portal. A portal that they might just be using to try to summon some real evil to this place we live. Or maybe even just a prop to propagate their fake summoning of the return of Jesus as a hologram. All I know is there's one thing I definitely know in all of this, is that this movie was created with intention to tell a vision of what this place actually is. Because I would put my money on it that 99% of you have never heard of the city in Kazakhstan called Astana.
Borat the movie made us all believe that Kazakhstan was somewhat a third world mess, with This My Sister and all this shit going on in the slums of Kazakhstan. Now, for those that don't know, Kazakhstan is a massive country situated literally in between some of the biggest powers of the world. China, Russia, you've got Afghanistan and Iran, all the world wars at the bottom here. But Kazakhstan has a capital city named Astana. Now, it looks pristine. It looks like it's living in the future. But more than anything, it is massively symbolic. Now, Astana straight away is an anagram for Satan. We know how they love to jumble up the letters just to hide what their truths are. It's called truth in plain sight. Now, in Astana, one of the richest places in the world for oil reserves, it has places that look like they're generating free energy and somewhat looks like a new futuristic city that we have never really heard about. And it wouldn't be the anagram of Satan without it having a, memorial for the light, the torch, the light bearer, Lucifer. It's literally all over our realm, the Olympics, the statue of Lucifer, the Statue of Liberty is holding the light. Lucifer was the light bearer of this realm. Now, let me introduce you to the Palace of Peace, which is also, look, there is the torch memorial. This is a pyramid called the Palace of Peace in Astana. Now, does this look like anything to you? Because it sure damn resembles something that I've seen so many times on the dollar note. You know, a pyramid with a top section. A pyramid with a top section. Well, you know, the all-seeing eye at the top of the pyramid, that room right there in the Palace of Peace in Astana has an immaculate meeting room. Now, this said meeting room is literally made for worldwide religious meetings that we never, ever hear about. And, you know, right here, there is 200 immaculate seats. 200. Just like in, you know, the book of Enoch, which was taken out of the Bible, there was 200 watchers that descended to earth onto Mount Hermon to follow Satan to rule earth. So if there maybe was 200 fallen angels that came down from heaven to rule earth, maybe there would be a meeting room that would look like the all-seeing eye in a place that is an anagram for Satan, where they have 200 immaculate seats and they held worldwide religious meetings that no one ever hears about. And as Tyler Hanson would say, whoosh, the smoking gun, we know they love to use gematria to sign their work. Now look at Borat's gematria code, it's 233, which is also their favourite number, 33 times 2, you've got 66. Oh, and looky here, Astana, the capital city of Kazakhstan, which Borat was used to lie to the world to make everyone think it was a third world country, is also the number 233, which once again is their favourite number, 33. Times it by 2, you get the 66.
Where's Magog in the book of Revelation? The zombies are walking toward it inside the UN building. The zombie is walking toward the bird that is over the dragon. It's that bird over that dragon with the sword. That's the back wall of the United Nations building. And that bird over that dragon is that bird in Magog. And that's next on the trumpet. The legend is there's a dragon underneath the bird that laid an egg, which is the sun in the tree of life. That bird. It's that egg in that tree of life. Magog, Kazakhstan, whatever. Revelation 20 says Gog and Magog. Those people are these people. They're from Japheth, right here. And Astana is right in the middle of it. The bird has a name, and it is an AI model that runs all of their money. The bird's name is Samruk, just like their AI model that was appointed to their board of directors. The AI-powered board member that Astana is going to put into place will run the region with decision-making powers. So that's happening right now in Astana. And out of the 173 billion that they'll be rolling around in, 44 billion of it is ours. And when these three superpowers are eliminated in a war, then Kazakhstan will be the #1 nuclear arsenal on the planet. Remember, that's Magog. Revelation chapter 20. Right there in verse 8. The boardroom for the fallen angels. There's 200 fallen angels according to the book of Enoch. 200 angels descended to earth. 200 people for religious meetings can meet at the top of that pyramid. That's the hole in the middle of the boardroom. That hole right there. Right down there. Over the hanging gardens. Those hanging gardens. I know, the hanging gardens of Babylon. The boardroom is over the hanging gardens in the pyramid. That's the sign on the elevator. At the top of that pyramid, right there. If you don't have wings when you go through the boardroom table, you're going to end up right there. And they were in all 200 who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. All about the Watchers is written in Enoch, book 1. And if you go to my link tree on my bio page, that codex that I make, it has the book of Jubilees in it, Enoch 1, the book of Jasher, the book of Gad, and the Gospel of Nicodemus, the descent into the underworld. And the underworld doesn't have a lobby with a glass pyramid in it. The Knights of the Round Table, over the hanging gardens. I hope they don't hit this Jesus statue right here while they're bombing Lebanon, because Lebanon was tired. Right here in the book of Isaiah, it tells you that Lebanon shall see the glory of the Lord. Come on, you know I'm going to take you right there. All you got to do is scroll in, touch that little thing right there. Boom, pow, it all lights up. And then it's that blue dot right there on the bridge. Pow. It goes over and you scroll, move it. 2, 3. The glory of the Lord, right there. The mysterious pyramid offered by a founding member of the Board of Peace is next on the trumpet. That pyramid is in Kazakhstan, and they are a founding member of the Board of Peace that was launched by President Trump. That's where the Palace of Peace is, and the boardroom at the top holds 200 people. It literally says 200 people for religious meetings. Right there. 200 fallen angels descended onto Mount Hermon. This is definitely in the land of Magog right over here. And if you zoom in, you can see the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation. Zoom right in and then click on that dot right there in the corner. Trust me, I've clicked on all of them. And that one oddly takes you inside at the top of it to the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation boardroom. And you can zoom out and you can see how it comes to a point and it's got the birds all in it flying, the peace doves, and then there's a hole in the middle that goes all the way to the bottom of the pyramid. If you click on that little arrow, it goes right there, and that's the bottom of the board table right there. And if you want to see the 4 horses of the apocalypse, go down to the opera house right there, and then zoom out, and then click on the little man, and then click on that button right there by that parked car. Boop, that one right there. And then you can look at the top of the roof right there, and the 4 horses of the apocalypse are right there. You can see 2 of the founding members of the Board of Peace, the archer and the horseman, right up there in the top corner, and the play on words between Astana and Satana. Just one of the founding members offering this place up, saying, totally can meet here, it's all good. So that just happened January of this year. Peace and religion meetings right up there in the top of the pyramid. I print the Apocrypha Bible and the Dead Sea Scrolls as a codex. People, just like the fallen angels. An Easter egg laid in the tree of life is just one of the things that we paid over $40 billion for in Astana, Kazakhstan. That place is actually called Magog in the Bible. But if you scroll around a little bit, you can see the columns of Freemasonry right there, Obed and Jasam or whatever they are. And then if you scroll right past them, you can see the presidential palace and then the triangle or the pyramid, which is the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation. And that's next on the trumpet. Over $40 billion builds you a nice pyramid with a boardroom for 200 people, just like the fallen angels right there. And then right across the river, as soon as you get out of the board meeting, you can go over to the presidential palace and enjoy a nice evening right there. .gov site right here for the USA shows that we spent $44.8 billion in Kazakhstan. When the top 3 nuclear powers are eliminated, Kazakhstan will be the new leader, largest producer of uranium in the world. When the Soviet Union collapsed, they ended up with all the warheads. These people are a founding member of the Board of Peace. What a great idea to be the founding member of that. We paid for all this too, and inside this egg, which is laid in the tree of life, there's a shape of the planet right here that's never been seen before. So it's sort of like half round, half flat, half whatever you call it. It has all the continents on it inside the egg that was laid in the tree of life. The celebration about that egg in the tree of life is supposedly one of the oldest celebrations on the earth. That's at the end of March. So we paid billions of dollars for this great cosmic tree where this bird lays a golden egg, which is the sun, and then this dragon that lives beneath the tree, he tried to eat the egg. Right around Easter time. You just let that $44 billion sit there with you for a minute. Where do you think all the people are going to gather for their religious meetings? Not only did we build that pyramid right there in the background, but we built a copy of the bird that laid that egg in the tree of life, too. These people we've got billions of dollars invested into don't look for a lot of eggs because they think it's the sun.